I'm Maggie Mendersky, the retail reporter for the Sarasota Herald-Tribune, and I'm standing today in downtown Venice with Tommy Steckel at Tommy's Fine Men's Consignment on Venice Avenue. We're going to talk a little bit with Tommy about how his business has evolved and his new location.
Maggie, I had an idea about 2 years ago and was talking with a few people, and I thought, why are there always women's consignment shops and nothing for men? You'll see men's consignment shops in a very small area and not a full men's consignment shop. And I think there was a need for men that aren't going to spend the kind of money for a high-level shirt as they would spend for something reasonably priced. There are a lot of gentlemen that live down here in Sarasota and throughout that have many, many shirts in their closets. And they wear them once or they wear them twice. So it's either gently worn or some of them actually have tags on them that have never been worn. And I thought, why not open up a full consignment shop for men, and someone who would normally not buy a shirt for $90, $100, or $120, I usually put it down at a third. And I think there's a tremendous amount of men down there that would spend, and women too, because that's a large part of my customer base, that will spend $20, $30, or $40 for a shirt that would normally go $100 and up.
Excellent. Now tell me a little bit about your product. What type of clothing comes into your store, and how do you screen it to make sure that it's what you want to sell?
It's pre-screened by one of the part-time people that work for me, and then it has to be screened by me. I look for no imperfections whatsoever, no wearing on the collars or the cuffs, nothing underneath the arms, no stains. It has to come in clean, pressed on hangers. The products that I look for are everything, as an example, from a Tommy Bahama, a Tory Richard, the short sleeve Hawaiian resort type shirts, to long sleeve dress shirts, to sport jackets, to tuxedos, to suits, to shoes, sneakers, the entire gamut of what a gentleman would want to wear down here for casual by going to the beach, or for dressing up going out to dinner at one of the clubs, or even going to one of the formals that would be, up in Sarasota, and carry a full line of jewelry, of watches, gold, diamond rings, cufflinks, knives, anything that a man would buy, or anything that a man would have in his house that he's not using or has decided that it's time for it to go.
And how has your business grown and changed since you opened your first shop in June of 2014?
I think there were people that were apprehensive in thinking, how would a men's consignment shop work? My feeling was I wanted to do something more, because I knew in retirement I'm not one of those guys that can retire. I'm going to be doing this for the next 20, 30 years. And I also wanted to pay it forward. We're extremely lucky people to live here and to live in the United States and be the type of people that we don't know what happens in a third world country. We don't know what happens to those that are less fortunate than us. And my whole idea was those things that don't sell, when they get paid forward and they are donated. I partnered with one company here that's called Agape Flights that supports 500 missionaries throughout the world. My own church that I go to, the Bridge Church, and we do mission trips to Peru, to Haiti, to Dominican, to Ecuador, to Mexico. We also become involved right here in the United States when there's any type of devastations, tornadoes, hurricanes. I also believed very much in the Lovelands operation, which are the children with the developmental problems, and they live and become back into the public through working at different types of jobs. They help them to get their skills back so that they become productive people in society, of which they want to become. And the last one that I really also believed in was the Sertoma operation, of which I had joined, and that's for the speech clinic. And children that have speaking problems or the speech problems, through Sertoma, every dime that is made goes directly for those children. And any of these organizations that I decided to pick from to pay it forward was what my belief was. And that was the whole idea of why I really wanted to do this. Besides that, I thought an entire men's store would work down here, was to be able to pay it forward and help those people that are not as fortunate as I've been.